guys to watch during this. So let's do a King of the Ring because I got nothing better to do. Randomize superstar on. I don't really care. Match type. Just so the matches could hold some time. Let's do last man standing because I'm not playing any of these anyway. Oops. I'm fine with these. Okay, so I actually have like 2 pages, like 2.5 pages for this, so this is a lot to go through, like I said. Alright, so the first match of the night was a rematch from last night. Roman Reigns, the new United States Champion, versus the former United States Champion, Rusev. Rusev decided to cash in his rematch immediately. The match was pretty back and forth, with Rusev pretty much going after the back of Roman after Roman kind of got hurt Sunday night during Clash of Champions. But in the end, it was a double countout when they were both in the crowd fighting. Roman is still a champion because if you guys don't know, WWE rules, disqualification and countout do not mean the title switches hands. Sheamus and Cesaro, their match Sunday night was their final of their best of 7 series, and it ended
The following contest is a last man standing match. Making his way to the ring from Montreal, Canada. The Raging Cajun.
So obviously the best of 7 ended in a no contest. Sorry about the video for the Clash Champions review. I thought it ended because somebody had got attacked before the match. That was not how it ended. When I ended up looking up the match and learning about it, the match ended when they both kind of went over the over the barricade into the crowd. That's kind of how the match ended instead of what I thought. So sorry about that one, guys. Neither of them could compete at the end, so that's why it ended. Now obviously that meant their best of 7 series ended in a draw. So Mick Foley came out, decided to give them both a title shot, but the titles going to be for the tag titles. And they're going to verse the winner of the match that's next, the New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. Now, a lot of people predicted that it was going to be a tag match. That's kind of actually what I predicted was going to happen. I kind of also predicted that it was going to end in them getting a shot at the tag team titles instead of singles titles. How it's going to end, I have no idea. It could end with new tag team champions, them, which I think would be kind of cool. Just because they're so different. I'm actually starting to call their tag team Cesaro, even though they literally just became a tag team. But that's pretty much it for that thing. So yeah, they're getting a shot at the tag team titles. I don't know if that's going to be at Hell in a Cell, if it's going to be in 2 weeks at Raw, because there's nothing confirmed for next week for a championship match between the tag team champions and them. I don't know. The New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. Obviously, every match they've gone into with these guys so far has been an amazing match, and it's been very, very hard-hitting, including this one. It was a very tough match between them. Lots of hard hits, lots of flying through the air for Kofi. Lots of I think they even had a unicorn stampede in there at one point with Francesca 3 blowing the noise. If you guys don't know, the disqualification at Clash Champions was because Xavier Woods hit them with Francesca 2. So he's lost 2 trombones because of these assholes. Alright, but yeah, so it was a very hard-hitting match. Kofi got thrown into the steel steps and started bleeding, and with blood over his face after hitting Trouble in Paradise, he got the pin, and the New Day have kept their titles, and will go on to face Sheamus and Cesaro at some point in the future. Bayley had a match against some random diva or female superstar. She ended up winning, obviously, because it was kind of just a squash match type thing. And she said she's still kind of gunning for the title. She still deserves it, stuff like that. So Mick Foley talked to Stephanie backstage, and he said he pretty much said she made him look like a fool because of what she had said to him and all this. And, well, it kind of was like, hey, you know, you made me look like an idiot and all this because of what you did, because she left with Triple H, which kind of makes sense. She kind of tore him a new one for this, for what he said. She tore him a new one. Pretty much said, well, I left with my husband. He didn't see it because he was flying and all this. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Next, we had a cruiserweight division match. It was Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander versus Lindsay Dorado and Drew Gulak. Obviously, new cruiserweights were brought in. Drew Gulak, we already had Lindsay confirmed, but this is his first time appearing. It started with Swann and Dorado. Lots of reversals because these two have kind of know each other. Lindsay was eliminated from the competition from the CWC by Rich Swann, so you know, yeah, it was kind of good. Coming back from the commercial, Drew Gulak had Swann in a submission. Swann did end up getting out of it. Gulak tagged in Lindsay, and it was pretty back and forth. Before the commercial break, I kind of forgot to mention this. Before the commercial break, Lindsay hit a moonsault off of the turnbuckle to all three of the men down there, to Gulak, to Swann, and to Alexander. Rich Swann hit the rich kick on Gulak and covered him for a 3 count. Rich and Cedric won. Cesaro and Sheamus versus some random people. Sheamus was kind of being a douche, obviously. Cesaro force tagged in Sheamus. Both of them tried to show that they're more physically dominant. It was almost an uppercut train before the guy got out of the way. Cesaro got double teamed on his bad shoulder. Cesaro hit an uppercut to them. Now Cesaro was about to hit the neutralizer, and Sheamus came in, hit the other guy with a bro kick, and yeah, and then Cesaro ended up and then I think he hit another one, and then Cesaro ended up getting the pin. They kind of got in each other's faces after that, and you know, went all douchey and stuff like that. TJ Perkins had a backstage interview because obviously this is his debut on Raw, and Brian Kendrick interrupted it, said he still deserves the title and stuff like that. That was pretty much all that had to offer. There wasn't really much else to that one. Charlotte and Dana Brooke came out. Charlotte talked a lot of shit. Said she will never be dethroned. Obviously forgetting that she did lose the title at one point to Sasha. Sasha came out, said it's still her title, said she still owed her one-on-one rematch and that she wanted it now. Called Charlotte Queen Charles, which I thought was hilarious. And Charlotte said she'd give it to her next week. Talk some more shit. Sasha slapped her, got Dana Brooke in the bank statement. Charlotte broke that up, and then shot Sasha through both of them out of the ring. There are 2 confirmed title matches for next week. Brian Kendrick getting his Cruiserweight rematch against TJ Perkins, and Charlotte versus Sasha, which kind of is obvious since I was just talking about that. Seth Rollins came out backstage and talked with Mick. He's obviously not medically cleared to be here. His ribs are injured because of Kevin Owens. But it's seeming like he's probably going to end up getting a title shot at some point. What I'm hoping for to happen is he comes back right around the same time Finn Balor does, and him, Finn, and Kevin Owens all have a match, because I think that'd be awesome. Also, before I get into the next match, with Roman winning the United States Championship, with Roman winning the United States Championship, it actually marks a statistical thing in history, a new stat, with all 3 members of stable holding. All 3 members of the Shield stable have done something no other stable has ever done. They've all held the World Championship and the United States Championship at one time. Obviously, you know, we all know when Seth held it. We all know when Dean held it. Roman just got it, obviously. We all know when they all held the World Championship at one time. So that's a stat that no other stable has gotten. Not the NWO, not Evolution, none of them. Nobody has ever gotten this stat. They're either first stable to ever do that. So they have marked history. So I feel like that's really cool, especially since there's the huge chance of the Shield actually making a comeback. TJ Perkins had a match against Tony Nese. This is TJ Perkins' Raw debut. And it confirmed another cruiserweight being brought to Raw in Tony Nese. TJ Perkins' entrance, by the way, amazing. I love the whole video game thing. It really shows that he's kind of in my generation over any other generation, which I really love. It was a really back and forth match. Obviously, both of them are like really good people. They're like really good wrestlers and stuff like that. Perkins did lock in the knee bar though, and Nice did end up tapping. Now it's time for the highlight reel. First off, before I get into this, I hate Jericho and Owens, so I'm just gonna say that now, just so you guys know. So yeah, Jericho. That's who's gonna be on this highlight reel. All right, so Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson responded to what Jericho said last week. If you guys don't know, Jericho pretty much talked shit about how they're not really the best friends like him and KO and Owens are. They responded saying they'll see him next week in LA. He's gonna put them on the list, and they aren't gonna like it. He makes fun of Seth's injury. Kevin Owens came out. Kevin Owens typically wears a suit when he comes out with his Universal Championship, but he said that he wasn't going to do it for Cincinnati because they made that bum Dean Ambrose. Made fun of Seth's injury. Seth finally came out and the fans cheered. Security tried to stop him. Fans booed. Foley came out and talked to him, and then Seth ended up finally leaving and deciding, you know, it's better than being injured permanently, not being able to wrestle anymore, so he left. Jericho got interrupted by Enzo and Cass. Beautifulness. Three of my favorite wrestlers interrupting these douchebags. I love it. Enzo and Cass now have like custom actual cool looking mics, like the drop down mics that you'd see at like a boxing fight. If you guys haven't seen their mics, just look it up. Speaking of speaking of looking stuff up, if you guys have not seen TJ Perkins' entrance, look it up. It is beautiful. Jericho said they made the list. They said, oh, you're making a list and you're checking it twice for spelling errors. Guess that makes you Santa Claus. Who does he think he is? Santa Claus? And then yeah, it was funny. Jericho said he'd go down there and sit on their lap, and then he tried to hide what he said. He said, no, I said I'll punch you in the face. So it was really hilarious to see that whole thing happen. I was laughing my ass off. Enzo and Cass said that when they were passing Mick Foley, they got a match. So that's kind of cool. So now the match is Enzo and Cass versus Jericho. Enzo and Cass were on top for the start. It was kind of back and forth most of this match. They were both on top at times. Jericho ran to hide by KO. KO came in. Cass came in. Jericho got thrown out of the ring. Air Enzo, which is where Cass throws Enzo over the ropes onto the people. Cass destroyed Jericho for a bit. The tables turned and KO was on top of both of them. Was on top of Enzo and Cass in the wrestling sense. Enzo and Jericho came in and Enzo took over. Enzo got brutalized by both of them. KO made fun of him because obviously they like doing the stupid shitty trash talk to everybody because they're idiots. Jericho cheated a bit. Jericho caught Enzo with a drop kick. Enzo was jumping off the top rope, and Jericho kind of got up and drop kicked him. KO complained about the ref stopping the count. The ref saw that Enzo lifted his shoulder up, and Enzo, obviously, that stops the count. So KO got kind of pissy about this. He's like, I'm the Universal Champion. The ref's like, yeah, but he lifted his shoulder, and obviously KO knows the rules, but he just likes being a pain in the ass, annoying asshole. Best way to say it. Jericho went for a lion salt and got caught by Enzo's knees straight to his nose. There wasn't any blood, which I was kind of hoping for, which kind of sucked. Cass and Owens came in, and Cass dominated both Owens and Jericho, dropping them both very quick and throwing Jericho out of the ring and all this stuff. Jericho went to actually jump down, and well, he got caught by a big boot, which is beautiful. KO got an Empire Elbow from Cass. Owens got a super kick on Cass. Big boot to, I believe, Owens, but I could be wrong. They went for the bada boom shakalaka. That got ruined by Jericho. Jericho got thrown out and big booted right off the apron. But that was kind of bad because, you know, it was just Enzo and Enzo got the DDT from the top rope for a 2 count, and then KO picked him up and got the powerbomb for the 1-2-3 pin, which was kind of, you kind of saw it coming, you know. You kind of saw that it was going to be Enzo and Cass losing the match, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that's it for the Raw review, and I will see you guys for SmackDown. Peace.